Hey, Jordan Bench here, jordanbench.com. This video is all about stopping binge eating. So I know for some people, this subject is kind of touchy because when you end up binge eating, I know it can feel like you've let yourself down and you're thinking, how in the world did I get to this place? Why did I do that? I never wanted to, I never wanted to like just smash on food, but you ended up doing it anyways. So I know for some people, this is a little bit touchy subject, and there's a lot of like emotional stuff that can be tied into this. So what I want to do in this video is just kind of give you some ideas of why you may be binge eating in the first place. There's a couple different reasons of why that could be. And then also I want to give you some solutions on maybe what you can do to help stop this. Now, in this video, I'm not going to cover every little aspect of why people binge eat and every little thing that you can do. I'm just going to give you a good idea of what could be going on. So I know like one of the reasons why people binge eat in the first place is simply because their blood sugar levels are out of balance. Let's say you're going throughout the day and you had a small meal and then you waited like 5 hours to eat something. Or maybe it wasn't even a small meal. Maybe it was just like a granola bar, or maybe it was like a little protein bar, or it just wasn't that much food, and then you waited like 5 hours or so to eat again. Well, typically when you get to that place, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be really, really hungry. Your body is going to start sending signals that, hey, our blood sugar levels are getting low and we need to raise them back up, because your blood sugar levels need to be stable. It needs to be balanced. It needs to be level. Now, you're going to have like little spikes to where your blood sugar levels, they're going to have like these little spikes where they go up and then they also drop down. So that's normal to have these little spikes going up and little down. But when you have these big spikes to where like you overload your body, like say with sugar, you're gonna have a big spike and then it's gonna come crashing down. So that's what we don't want. We want to have just little jumps, right? So we want it to be somewhat balanced. So if you eat something small and then you go a long period of time without eating again, guess what's going to happen? Your blood sugar level is going to be down, and your body is going to be signaling, hey, like ghrelin's going to be signaling, and it's going to say, hey, we need to get some food in because our blood sugar levels are low. So we need to stabilize that. So that right there is one thing that could be going on. Another thing is the meals you're eating, they're just simply not balanced meals. A lot of times what people do is they have like carbohydrate dense meals, and there's not that much protein and there's not that much fat. What I mean is healthy fat. So it's mainly carb dominant foods. That right there, a lot of times you'll burn right through the carbs, and then you're going to have nothing else to sustain you to get you on throughout the day. So it's important that you have a well-balanced meal with fibrous carbs, get your vegetables in, that you have healthy fat. So like say avocado or various nuts and seeds, coconut oil is really good. You get that in. Also having a moderate amount of protein. I know with working with tons and tons of women, my wife as well, looking at food journals, women a lot of times just do not get enough protein in. We need to have like a moderate amount of protein, and that should help out a lot. You're going to stabilize your blood sugar levels when you eat, and then it's going to give you sustained energy to go on. So if you can balance your blood sugar levels, and if you're also able to have a healthy, balanced meal, then that is going to help out to where you're not going to have these crashes, and you're not going to have a lot of these, these binge eating craves down the line. Especially like a lot of times when people binge eat, they do it at nighttime, and it's because they've gone most of the day without having balanced meals in, or there hasn't been that many calories, so their body is trying to like signal, hey, you got to get something in. So that's one of the reasons why people end up going down that path. There's another thing too, just maybe to be cautious of, and this is like meal spacing. So like the amount of time that you have in between meals. So let's say you eat breakfast, all right? You eat breakfast at, say, 8 o'clock, and then you have another meal maybe at 12 o'clock, and then you have another meal at 3 o'clock, right? Okay, so we're looking at maybe 4 to 3 hours. Now, here's what may cause you to eat more in that next meal. So say you have breakfast at 8 o'clock, but all you had was a granola bar. That was all you had, was a granola bar, all right? That granola bar is simply not going to get you very far because it's not balanced and there's not that much calories in it. So typically, if you eat at 8 o'clock and you have a granola bar, guess what? You're going to get hungry pretty quickly. Like maybe around 9:30, 10 o'clock, you're going to be getting hungry. And that right there can just cause you to want to eat a lot. So let's say for breakfast, you end up having a larger meal to where you had eggs, which is going to have protein and it's going to have healthy fat with the yolk. Maybe you had like sprouted grains toast or something to put the eggs on. So you're getting some carbs there. That right there is going to be balanced, right? That's just a little example. There's other things you can do too, but that's going to give you a lot more calories than what the granola bar will, and that's going to get you further down the line. That's exactly what you want. So meal spacing, based on the amount of calories and how balanced it is, it's going to make you feel satiated. It's going to make you feel full, and that means that the very next meal that you have, it can go longer down in the hours. So like it can gift you down like maybe 3 hours or so, and you're gonna feel like, okay, I can probably eat now. See, I don't go like in my day, I don't go to where I feel like I'm like starving at all. I never get to that place. I always, like when I eat, I make sure I feel content. I don't make sure I'm still feeling hungry or that I'm feeling like I didn't eat enough. And I don't also want to get to the place where I'm feeling stuffed. I just want to feel content, and I want to give myself enough calories to where I can get on to that next meal maybe 3.5 hours later or so. All right. There's no like set rule. Just realize that the size of your meal, how balanced it is and how many calories are, is going to dictate when you're feeling hungry next. So if you eat something small and you wait 5 hours, guess what? You're going to feel pretty hungry, and that's more likely going to cause you to have these binge crashes, or whatever you want to call them. So there's another area that I kind of want to expose a little bit, and this is more on like the emotional side. So I know for like especially women, I know a lot of times that they can get into a place to where whatever happens in the day, if their day goes bad, or maybe someone says something to them, or just things don't go right, that you can end up eating food in an abundance because you don't simply feel like you don't feel as if there's, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find the right words to say, because I know this is a touchy subject and I don't want to overplay it, and I don't want to underplay it as well. So if someone says something mean and hurtful, that can cause someone just to feel like their feelings have been really hurt, and that right there can cause them to go home and just start binging. Maybe they mess up in their work day, they mess up at work, something happens, and that right there, the emotional stress of that can cause them to eat. Maybe they just feel overwhelmed. Maybe they feel like there's a whole lot of stuff going on in their life, and they're being pulled in so many different directions, and they have so much responsibility, and it just gets to the place to where the only thing that makes them feel good is food. That's the only thing that makes them feel good is food. And not just food in general, but a lot of times it's the sweets, it's the sugary stuff. That's stuff that makes them feel good. And a lot of times that's the only thing that quenches that craving for them. So they just spiral out of control and they just keep going down. Maybe there was a situation where you were raised and a form of reward was that you got ice cream, from your parents. And so you associated like something sweet and everything with being good and being rewarded. So if you're feeling like you're going on in life and you're not feeling rewarded, or you're not feeling like things are going well, sometimes you'll resort to like those childhood foods, like maybe it's the little Debbie's, the little chocolate thing. Resort to something like that because it's a sense that makes you feel better. So with the emotional stuff, there's so many things. Like I'm scratching the surface of this. I'm not even covering it. There's so many things that can make you feel like maybe you're not good enough, and the only thing that can comfort you is food. That is not a good place to be in. And I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. When it comes to the like emotional binge eating side of things, I haven't really looked very deeply into this topic, because I know that there's a lot of people that do have solutions out there, but I basically have one answer for this. I only have one solution, one answer for this whole emotional binge eating thing. And part of it is you have to feel safe and secure in yourself, and other people can't get to the place to where they affect you, and life circumstances can't get to the place to where it affects you, like emotionally, and it causes you to binge eat. My only answer that I have for this is Jesus. He has been the only thing in my life that has been able to cause peace and harmony within my life. I used to live a very stressful life. There's a lot of stuff I would get bent out of shape over. And, you know, for me, I wouldn't eat the sugary foods. I would turn more towards like a lot of the fried foods and things that would just kind of comfort me. But I don't have to do that anymore. I don't need that because I have the Comforter. I have the Holy Spirit. I have Jesus within, and He is the only one that has given me peace in my life, and He's given me comfort in my life. So that might not be the answer you're looking for, but I'm telling you, peace with God has given me everything I possibly have ever needed. So, like I said, so on the emotional side, that's really the only answer I can give you. And maybe you do some research online and you find other stuff that can help out. You know, there's nothing wrong with seeing someone get healed and seeing someone get help and everything. I just know that for me, my answer was 100% Jesus. That was it for me. I also want to mention too, like, if you're someone who is like struggling like with eating healthy and finding well-balanced meals to eat and finding the right kind of structures of foods to eat, and just having a good idea of nutrition in and of itself, my wife has an awesome program called Tone and 20, and it's mainly on fitness and workouts and stuff like that. It's like an at-home workout program, but she also covers nutrition pretty in depth. So we have like a memberships area where there's tons of nutrition advice, and then she also does like weekly live Q&A calls. So those Q&A calls are just awesome because it helps. This is for women, by the way, but it helps women get their most pressing questions answered. And so it's really provided, I think, for a lot of women, a lot of sense of knowing that, you know, I'm not just in a workout program, but I'm going to get all my struggling questions that I have, I'm going to get them answered. So I want to throw that out there to you as well. Also, if you're someone that really feels as if you're struggling with the sugar cravings, there's a very good chance that you could have candida yeast overgrowth. And there's a whole thing called the mind-gut connection. And the candida yeast overgrowth is part of this. And basically what it's doing is when you feed it sugar, it grows, it gets stronger, and it craves it even more and more. So, a lot of times if someone has candida yeast overgrowth, more likely to have leaky gut. So I also have a quiz. It's a leaky gut quiz, and that might give you some answers on where your gut is at, because gut has so much to do with cravings as well. So I hope that you got some like a good idea of what could be going on dealing with binge eating and how to stop binge eating. Hopefully I gave you some ideas of what you can do. Like I said, I know I didn't go too far in depth in this because this is such a broad topic, as there's a whole lot to it. But if you got value out of this, just give this video a like. Also, if you have any questions for me, just go ahead and comment below, and I'll definitely get to you. I answer like all my comments. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe to it. I'm putting out a lot of videos. I'm trying to provide as much value, as much content as I possibly can. So I will see you in the next video.